Welcome back to the All Sorts Podcast. You know we love a good deep dive. And this time you guys sent in a phenomenal stack on Pelé. From Wikipedia articles to personal reflections, it's incredible. So we're going to explore the life and legacy of the king.
Yeah, it really is amazing to see all these different sources come together to paint this picture of not just a soccer legend, but a global icon.
Definitely. And I think as we go on this deep dive, I'm especially interested in that intersection of his just insane talent and then the impact he had on society, especially for Black communities around the world. As we start to unpack all this, what really jumps out at you?
Well, I think what's striking right away is that his story goes so far beyond just the sport itself. I mean, obviously he was unbelievably gifted. The Wikipedia article mentions he averaged almost a goal per game throughout his career. And he was ambidextrous on the field.
Which is just wild.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's superhuman.
Yeah.
And they mentioned also his childhood, playing futsal. That's indoor soccer, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that actually might have been a key part of his development. Futsal is incredibly fast-paced. You need to make quick decisions. You have incredible ball control in these tight spaces. It's almost like the perfect training ground for that lightning fast kind of play that he became known for.
Oh, that makes total sense. Okay, so imagine this. You're 15 years old. You sign your first professional contract with Santos FC in 1956. And then you score in a 7-1 victory in your debut match. What a statement.
It's a remarkable beginning, Obviously immense talent, but also the right opportunities at such a crucial age. And I think that early success with Santos really laid the foundation for everything that came after.
And speaking of everything that came after, this is where things get really, really interesting. After his World Cup wins in 58 and 62, Pelé was basically a global superstar. European giants like Real Madrid, Manchester United wanted to sign him, but Brazil actually declared him a national treasure, preventing his transfer. Can you imagine that happening today?
It's almost unheard of. And it really speaks volumes about how Brazil saw Pelé. He wasn't just an athlete. He embodied their national pride, their potential on the world stage. And it's fascinating how a single person can become so intertwined with a nation's identity in that way.
It really is. And there's a quote from the Library of Congress piece that really struck me. Pelé described his hometown of Bauru as like a microcosm of Brazil, this place where all these different cultures came together united by their love for soccer. And he really connected with that idea.
It's a beautiful image, and it really speaks to soccer's power to transcend differences, right? To build community.
Yeah.
And it's no wonder that resonated with him, given his later impact on a global scale.
Yeah, this next quote from that same source is even more powerful, Pelé said. Everywhere I went, I was looked upon and treated as a god, because I represented to the blacks in those countries what a black man could accomplish. Physical evidence that a black man could become rich even in a white man's country. I somehow represented a ray of hope, however faint.
Wow. I mean, it's clear he understood the immense weight that his success carried, particularly for Black communities around the world. His talent wasn't just personal. It became the symbol of possibility and change.
Exactly. It wasn't just about the goals. It was about breaking barriers and inspiring hope. And speaking of inspiring, the Al Jazeera article describes him as almost mythical. More than just a great player, he was magical. Do you think that mystique contributes to his lasting impact?
Absolutely. I mean, Pelé's charisma combined with those almost superhuman feats on the field created this sense of wonder that resonated far beyond just the sport itself. He became a symbol of what's possible when talent meets opportunity and determination. Yeah, and that mystique is almost perfectly captured in that iconic image of him leaping into Jairzinho's arms after scoring Brazil's 100th World Cup goal in that 1970 final. Pure joy, national pride, the culmination of years of dedication. Moments like that just become cultural touchstones, don't they?
Oh, they totally do. It's a snapshot that transcends the sport itself.
Right.
And speaks to something kind of universal about, teamwork, passion, and achieving the impossible.
Exactly. And speaking of achieving the impossible, Pelé's time with the Santos FC was marked by this. An incredible success. They dominated tournaments like the Copa Libertadores, which is South America's most prestigious club competition.
Right. And I was looking at that Wikipedia entry, and one season in particular that really stood out to me was 1962. I mean, they were practically unbeatable that year, winning almost every single match, including this thrilling final against the defending champions Peñarol.
Yeah, that victory really marked a turning point, I think, for Brazilian soccer. Santos, led by Pelé, became this global force, proving that they could compete with the best in the world.
And it wasn't just the Copa Libertadores. That same year, they won the Campeonato Paulista, which is a major state-level championship in Brazil. And the Taça Brazil, which is a national tournament, so it was a triple crown, capped off with this win against Benfica in the Intercontinental Cup, which pitted the champions of Europe and South America against each other.
It's a testament to their dominance, really. And Pelé was at the heart of it all. His leadership, his skill, his ability to inspire his teammates, it all came together in that incredible year.
And it's amazing to think about just the sheer volume of success that he achieved in such a short period of time. And even beyond those major tournaments, there are all these stories of individual brilliance that has become legendary.
Yep, the goal de placa, right? The goal worthy of a plaque.
Scored against Fluminense at the Maracana Stadium in 1961, Pelé received the ball near his own penalty area and then proceeded to just dribble past like multiple opponents, running the entire length of the field before scoring.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine witnessing that in person? The skill, the audacity, the athleticism.
Isn't it mind-blowing? And there's literally a plaque at the Maracana commemorating that goal, dedicated to the most beautiful goal in the history of the stadium.
It's a level of recognition that most athletes can only dream of. It really speaks to the impact of that moment and how it transcended just a simple goal. It became the symbol of Pelé's genius.
And then there's that goal from a 1959 match against Juventus. There's no footage of it, but Pelé actually had a computer animation created based on eyewitness accounts, just so people could try to visualize this extraordinary feat.
I mean, he was that confident in what he had accomplished, and he wanted to share it with the world, even if the technology at the time couldn't capture it. It speaks to his awareness of his own legacy, even at such a young age.
It's incredible. And these stories, I think they remind us that Pelé's legend was built not just on trophies and titles, but on these moments of pure brilliance that left people speechless.
Yeah, those moments weren't confined to South America either. His career took him all over the world, including a stint with the New York Cosmos in the United States in the 1970s.
Which was huge for soccer in America. The Wikipedia article says he really helped to popularize the sport here, bringing a level of attention and excitement that it had never seen before.
It was a bold move for Pelé, who was already this global icon. He could have easily stayed in Brazil or Europe, but he saw this opportunity to grow the game he loved in a new market.
And he wasn't just playing exhibition matches either. He was competing and winning. He led the Cosmos to a championship title, proving that soccer could thrive in the U.S.
It's a testament to his vision and his willingness to embrace new challenges. He wasn't content to rest on his laurels. He wanted to push boundaries and leave a lasting impact on the sport.
Yeah, and that brings us to the World Cup, the tournament that truly made Pelé a global icon. His impact there is undeniable, winning it 3 times, a feat that remains unmatched to this day.
Yeah, his World Cup journey began in 1958 in Sweden. He was just 17 years old and ended up wearing the now iconic number 10 jersey, almost by accident. The Brazilian Federation hadn't assigned numbers, and FIFA just ended up choosing it for him.
Can you believe that? The most famous jersey number in soccer, worn by the greatest player of all time, just assigned by pure chance. It's almost poetic.
It really is. And in that tournament, Pelé became the youngest player ever to score in a World Cup final, leading Brazil to their first ever title.
Yeah, it was a performance that really announced his arrival on the world stage and signaled the beginning of this legendary career.
He was hailed as the greatest revelation of the tournament. Star was born.
4 years later, at the 1962 World Cup in Chile, Pelé started strong, scoring a stunning goal in the opening match against Mexico. But then tragedy struck. He suffered an injury in the next match, forcing him to miss the rest of the tournament.
Which was a devastating blow for Brazil. But they rallied, showing their depth and resilience, and went on to win their second World Cup title.
Which is a testament to the strength of Brazilian soccer at the time. But it also highlights how even the greatest players can't win alone. It takes a team effort.
Absolutely. And then came the 1966 World Cup in England, a much tougher experience for Pelé. He was targeted by defenders, fouled relentlessly, and suffered another injury.
Yeah, it was a frustrating tournament for him and for Brazil, who were eliminated in the group stage, a shock result after their back-to-back victories.
It was a reminder that even the greatest players and teams are vulnerable to upsets, and that the World Cup is a tournament full of surprises.
But Pelé wasn't finished. He returned for one last glorious chapter at the 1970 tournament in Mexico, determined to write his final World Cup story.
And what a story it was. This tournament really solidified his legacy as a global icon and one of the greatest soccer players of all time.
He scored his 100th World Cup goal in this tournament. Just an incredible feat that cemented his place in soccer history and then led Brazil to a thrilling final against Italy.
The match took place at the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, a fitting stage for Pelé's final World Cup appearance.
Yeah, he opened the scoring with his powerful header, giving Brazil an early lead. And his celebration leaping into the arms of his teammate Josinho became one of the most iconic images in World Cup history, capturing the pure joy and emotion of that moment.
It's a snapshot of sporting history, etched in our collective memory. And it wasn't just about that goal either. Pelé provided assists for Brazil's third and fourth goals, orchestrating their attack with such precision and flair.
And that final goal scored by Carlos Alberto is considered one of the greatest team goals of all time. It involved almost every Brazilian player on the field, culminating in this thunderous finish.
And it was Pelé's blind pass to Carlos Alberto. That set it all up. A moment of pure instinct and vision, epitomizing his ability to create something out of nothing.
While Brazil lifted the Jules Rimet Trophy for the third time, becoming the first nation to achieve this feat, and Pelé received the Golden Ball as the best player of the tournament, a fitting end to an extraordinary World Cup career, a moment of pure triumph and celebration.
It's a storybook ending, really, and it's amazing how these specific moments from the World Cup are so vividly described in that Wikipedia article. It's almost like we're reliving them alongside him.
It's so true. And those moments weren't just about soccer either. They were about national pride, resilience, and the power of dreams. Pelé's World Cup journey, I think, is a microcosm of his entire career, full of brilliance, adversity, and ultimately triumph.
And even after retiring from professional soccer in 1977, his impact continued to grow. He became this global ambassador for the sport, advocating for social justice, using his platform to champion causes close to his heart.
He was more than just an athlete. He was a voice for the voiceless, a symbol of hope for those who had been marginalized and oppressed.
Yeah, he understood the power he held, and he used it to make a positive difference in the world.
He served as Brazil's Minister of Sport, working to improve the lives of underprivileged youth through the power of soccer, and was involved in numerous charitable endeavors, supporting organizations like UNICEF and the Pelé Foundation.
Yeah, it's inspiring to see how he dedicated himself to giving back, using his fame and influence to help others. He truly embodied the idea that sport can be a force for good.
Absolutely. And the accolades and awards he received throughout his career are a testament to his impact, both on and off the field. He was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II, received the FIFA Ballon d'Or Prix d'Honneur, and was inducted into numerous halls of fame.
Recognition at the highest level. And it really speaks to his lasting legacy, not just as a soccer player, but as a humanitarian and a global icon.
And as we delve deeper into these sources, we find countless anecdotes and details that just add to the richness of his life story, beyond the goals and trophies.
Like his playful encounter with Egyptian movie star Zubaida Tharwat in Kuwait. They met at a hotel, and Pelé, struck by her beauty, presented her with a collar of roses.
It's a charming story that highlights his charisma and global appeal.
Yeah, and it reminds us that Pelé was a human being. With all the complexities and nuances that come with that, he wasn't just this mythical figure. He was a person who lived a full and fascinating life.
And his story, in all its facets, I think, is a reminder that greatness comes in many forms. It's not just about talent or achievement. It's about using your gifts to make a positive impact on the world.
It's about inspiring others, breaking down barriers, and leaving a legacy that transcends the boundaries of sport time and culture.
Pelé's journey is a testament to the power of dreams, the importance of perseverance, and the transformative impact that one person can have on the world.
He showed us that anything is possible if we dare to dream big, work hard, and believe in ourselves.
And his story will continue to inspire generations to come, reminding us that through sport, we can find unity, celebrate human achievement, and strive for a better future.
Exactly. And speaking of inspiring stories, the All Sorts podcast is all about diving deep into the topics that matter most to you.
We take your stacks of sources, from articles and research papers to personal reflections and anecdotes, and we extract the key insights, the hidden gems, the connections that might otherwise be missed.
It's like having a personal guide through this vast and ever-expanding universe of knowledge, helping you unlock the potential of your own curiosity.
So if you're ready to embark on a new intellectual adventure, hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey of discovery.
Let the All Sorts podcast be your compass as we navigate the fascinating world of knowledge together.
And as we kind of wrap up this deep dive into Pelé's extraordinary life, there's one quote from him that really stuck with me.
Oh, yeah.
He said, "Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do."
It's a powerful reminder that true success isn't about luck. It's about dedication, passion, and that relentless pursuit of your goals. And I think Pelé's journey really embodies that perfectly.
It really does. And it makes me think about all the other incredible stories out there waiting to be discovered, all the knowledge we have yet to uncover.
And that's what the All Sorts podcast is all about. We're here to help you navigate that vast ocean of information, to extract the most valuable insights from the sources that matter to you.
So if you're enjoying this deep dive and you're ready to explore even more fascinating topics, be sure to like and subscribe to the All Sorts podcast on YouTube.
And don't forget to follow us on X, Instagram, and Threads for even more behind-the-scenes content and sneak peeks at upcoming episodes.
Yeah, we're constantly exploring new ideas, new sources, new ways to spark your curiosity and expand your understanding of the world around us.
So join us on this journey of discovery and let the All Sorts podcast be your guide through the endless possibilities of knowledge.
Because together we can unlock the secrets of the universe, one deep dive at a time.
And with that, we come to the end of our exploration of Pelé's life and legacy.
But the conversation doesn't have to end here. We encourage you to continue researching, reading, and reflecting on the themes we've discussed today.
Yeah, think about the impact of sports on society, the role of icons in shaping culture, and the power of individual stories to inspire change.
And most importantly, never stop exploring, never stop learning, and never lose that spark of curiosity that drives us all.
From the All Sorts podcast, we bid you farewell and happy exploring.